What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video for Sunday. It is September 22nd. We are back. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We are still trying to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I think we can do it today. I want to be able to do it today. It's a goal. It's been a goal for 9 years since I started this channel. It's been a very long road, but hopefully you guys can help us out. If you've never been here, we do have giveaways every single video. Here's how to win. Like the video, be a subscriber to the channel, and leave a comment. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus, which is every sport we offer. MLB, NASCAR, PGA, MMA, NFL, NBA wants its back. We're very excited for that. If the video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month of FTA Plus. 150 likes, a chance at a free year. 200 or more likes, a chance at a lifetime pass to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. That is a lifetime of the website, and we've been around since 2014. So we're very excited to hopefully help you bring everything you can for this main slate. We are going to use SaberSim to build some lineups and just kind of look at some of the projections out there. So quick little projections for each position. And then we do have the giveaway from yesterday, which we are going to. But again, the sponsor to all of these videos here on YouTube is Outlier.bet. So if you've never been to Outlier.bet, make sure you check them out. Especially let's just look at the Pittsburgh Pirates at Cincinnati. So you got Paul Skeens versus Hunter Green. So you got the Skeens and the Greens. So we look at the Skeens, or let's just say, for instance, Cincinnati versus right-handed pitching. They do okay. And you can see who does it. And obviously, Elly De La Cruz with 19 bombs, 282 batting average. Just dominating performance out of him. He's got 25 bombs, and he has 60 stolen bases on the year. So just a fantastic, phenomenal player. So it's got a breakdown there. It's got BVP. It's got splits if they've ever faced him before, which they have. Skeens has had his way with them pretty much. Pirates against Hunter Green, you see they hit very well. So you can see a breakdown. You can see trends, you can see props, you can see everything from every sport that you need that are current. So NFL, college football, MLB, WNBA, NHL, college basketball, NBA wants its back. So ton of information. Go check it out. The link to sign up to Outlier.bet is down below. So we are going to see who the winner from yesterday's video is. So let's get into it. Again, this is a person who's going to win a free week, and that person is Sergeant Saint. Again, we only had 12 comments on the video. So I think everyone's kind of focused on NFL, but I'm still here to bring you MLB while we can. We got about a week left. I don't know if we're going to be doing it for playoff baseball. It really depends. I don't want to put a ton of work into these videos if they're only going to be seen by 100 views. It's a lot of work for 100 views. So I don't want to sound ungrateful. I appreciate everything. But I could turn that focus from MLB to NFL and bring you the best content available, which we have our NFL content. We've already broken down the main slate for today, and we've broken down Sunday Night Football for you, which I will link at the end of this video. So if it's early enough, you can check out that information as well. So again, Sergeant Saint, congratulations. Email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, just so I can give you that free pass for the free week. So that being said, we do have some pitchers. We're going to look at this. So Paul Skeens comes out here at the top versus Cincy. We come into Skeens here. The problem is the ballpark scares me a little bit. And when he's away, he's actually been better. 1.49. He's already faced Cincy twice this year. 12 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 16 Ks. Pitching the pitches, he looks good to go. 100 pitches, 100 plus. Dominant performance here. He faced them back on August 22nd. 33.7 at 9,900. This is a guy I will pay $10,300. So Skeens number one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over basically our top fives at each position according to SaberSim, and then probably 7 to 10 in the outfield. So Blake Snell is number 2 at Kansas City. Snell is expensive. He's been dominant this season. Generally, though, Kansas City does hit lefties well, but Snell, if I'm paying up, I might not pay up as much for Snell. I might go with Skeens a little bit, because I like his matchup a little bit better. But Snell, it's been, after an atrocious start, dominant. He dominated Baltimore, who's a better team than Kansas City, with 12 Ks. So we could look at the double digits here again for him. 3 is Amanaga versus Washington. So you look at game log, 30.7 against Oakland. He just faced Washington, 830, 24.5. That's the one time he's faced them. 24.5 fantasy points is exactly what we need out of him. Number 4 is Seth Lugo, which he has been just a godsend for them. 3.05 ERA, 173 strikeouts. Coming off his worst start of the season against Detroit, but 38 against the Yankees, which is a fantastic hitting team who hit righties better with 10 strikeouts there. He's now facing San Francisco. This is a pitcher's park in Kansas City. I wish it were in San Francisco because it is a better pitcher's park, but I will still take Seth Lugo at number 4. And then number 5, Grant Holmes. It gets kind of iffy after that. So you got Grant Holmes here, and you come down here to 7,600. Game log wise, the innings are what scares me. He's scheduled to start, he hasn't done much, so I'm probably off of him. And then it gets a little bit iffy. Brian Wu, I think I might like Brian Wu just a little bit better. He didn't do anything against the Yankees, though. 7 earned runs there. Splits-wise, he has not faced Texas. So I think, in my mind, Brian Wu is number 5. I don't know if I get down to number 5 today. I might build with the top 4 that we just talked about, though. We move to the catching position. You've got Yainer Diaz in this situation. So we go to catcher. Yainer Diaz coming in against Griffin Canning against the Angels this season. Done pretty well. So I will take my build with him. Here's the problem. Sundays are the day of rest for catchers. So Diaz might be out, and it might be Caratini. So that is something. If Caratini's in there, he's 2,400, a very cheap option as well. So that's something to look at. Number 2 is Cal Raleigh. 3 is Logan O'Hoppe. 4, I do love William Contreras against the lefty. To be honest with you, I might move William Contreras up to my number 1 here. Going up against Jordan Montgomery and a lefty. Splits-wise, you can see against Arizona, he's already got 2 home runs. And then this is one where I will show you outlier because I want to show you the splits. And this is why I love outlier. So we look at games, we look at MLB. We come down to Arizona and Milwaukee. We then look at Milwaukee bats. Let's go down. Here we go. So we look at Milwaukee bats against Montgomery. Not a ton. William Contreras, 375. Okay, so, BVP. Some people like BVP. Some people don't. So then we look at splits. So against left-handed pitching. William Contreras is batting 319 with 4 bombs against left-handed pitching. You can see they hit a lot of home runs against left-handed pitching. Jordan Montgomery has been atrocious this year for the most part. There's a reason we come down here and he's 6,200, and he was at the bullpen. He has not started since August 21st. Again, he's been the long relief type guy, whatever, but he has not done anything with it. In those relief starts there, 6 earned runs right out of the bull, or that's a start. So then he did go 5.1 or 4.1 with no earned runs, but 3.43, like he has not been ideal for them. It's been a month since he started. I am definitely taking William Contreras as probably my number 1 catcher. So I'm going to bump him up to about a 9. I'm going to put him at the top of my list. I want him there when we do that. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to go William Contreras number 1, Yainer Diaz or Victor Caratini, depending on who is in there, number 2, Cal Raleigh 3, Logan O'Hoppe 4, probably Adley Rutschman 5, or you can always look at Salvador Perez. So we can take a real quick gander at him. So we look at the Kansas City bats. Go down here. Kansas City bats against Blake Snell, which is a lefty. So then Kansas City against Snell, Perez 1 for 3. Against lefties, though, Perez, 315 batting average with 9 bombs, 130 plate appearance or at bats. So he's seen him a ton. An OPS of 917. So Sal Perez is probably my number 5. If he starts, is definitely one to look at. Even Freddie Fermin, he could be in there too. It just really depends who is in there for number 5. Move to first base. Matt Olson's been on fire lately. Definitely looking at Matt Olson. Christian Walker, I love Christian Walker here. Vladdy for number 3. They've got Josh Naylor there at 4. Then Justin Turner you could look at, or Lamont Wade Jr. just depending. if he is there in that lineup. He wasn't in there a couple nights ago when we wanted to use him, so that's kind of where they were at. So then you look at second base. Ketel Marte is very expensive. I understand that, but he's been dominant. If he's not hitting home runs, he's stealing bases. So you've got him. Number 2 could be Brandon Lau. 3, Marcus Semien going up against Brian Wu. It just depends on which Brian Wu we're going to get. Number 4, Whit Merrifield. I don't know if he'll start, and he is batting 7th, so that scares me a little bit. But you could look at that. And then number 5 really just depends if either one's in there, but I kind of like Jorge Polanco there as well. Third base for SaberSim, Jose Ramirez, obviously dominant. He's a stud. Alex Bregman, I don't mind Alex Bregman whatsoever. Looking at that, depending, Eugenio Suarez against Aaron Savale, I do not mind. Ernie Clement would be a cheaper option, batting 2nd against Tampa Bay. You want to get even cheaper, either Gio Urshela for Atlanta or Eric Wagaman, if he is in there, against Houston is what we could look at. Shortstop, start off. CJ Abrams is no longer on the... if you haven't seen the news, CJ Abrams spent an all-nighter, was on a heater at the casino in Chicago, and then then had a day game on Saturday, and they promptly sent him down for a day game, or sent him down to the minor leagues. Won't be back. Probably won't be back with the team this year. If you don't think Blake Snell's going to do good, Bobby Witt Jr. is in a great spot for number 1. Number 2, I do like Gunnar Henderson. 3, Ellie De La Cruz. I know it's against Skeens, and he really hasn't done much, but he's been an absolute stud. Number 4, you could look at IKF. Would be a cheap leadoff option in this Great American Small Park against Hunter Green. I do not mind him. And then if you are looking for a different one, I kind of like Dansby Swanson in this spot here. So I will be definitely pay attention to them. Then we get to the outfield. The games that we have on here, just depending. Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, a Houston stack makes a lot of sense. Corbin Carroll makes a ton of sense. We love Michael Harris. Love Michael Harris in this situation against Miami. So we're looking at Michael Harris going up against Darren McCoggan. So love Michael Harris. Brian Reynolds against Hunter Green, I like. J-Rod led the game off on Saturday with a home run. Wouldn't be surprised if he does that again. Anthony Santander, I'm definitely looking at. And Randy Arozarena, and also Jock Peterson. So those are just some of the top ones. Again, if we're talking about like pitches be crazy, I guess I forgot to mention that, but the pitches be crazy segment is going to be, we're going to do that segment now, and then we're going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through early simulations. So what pitches be crazy is what it is we go through the top 5 pitchers on the slate today that have the best matchups against teams that strike out the most. So not always necessarily the best option to start, but these are the ones according to the statistics that we have. So we will go through that. It will be for the entire day, not just for the main slate. Same with the batters. All of them have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So we're going to do pitches be crazy right now. So again, these are not necessarily on this main slate. They're just for the entire day. Some of these pitchers will be on the main slate that we can kind of look at. Some we cannot. So the first one on the slate or for the day is Andrew Heaney versus Seattle. So Seattle strikes out the most out of any team. Andrew Heaney is here. Just faced this team his last start. 5 innings, only had 3 strikeouts. Didn't do very much. That was in Seattle. He's faced him 3 times this year. He has given up 10 earned runs with 14 strikeouts total. Not the best matchup for him. Number 2 is Yamamoto versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out over 10 times a game on the road, and they are on the road here. They are not in this game, this set, so you can't play them there, but he is number 2. Number 3 is Pablo Lopez / Zebby Matthews because they have a doubleheader, and Boston strikes out the 3rd most out of any team. Number 4 is Luis Gil at Oakland. Oakland strikes out more on the road, but they are a strikeout prone team. And then number 5 is Hunter Green versus Pittsburgh. My only concern, this is in Cincinnati. The ball flies out of there. So again, that's Andrew Heaney, Yamamoto, Pablo Lopez / Zebby Matthews. Number 4 is Luis Gil, and number 5 is Hunter Green. Then we look at All of the batters have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating currently, and it is very Dodger heavy right now. Number 1, Ohtani. Number 2, Mookie Betts. 3, Freddie Freeman. 4, Aaron Judge. 5, Max Muncy. 6, Arozarena. 7 is Ozuna. 8, Jackson Chourio. 9, Will Smith. 10, Gavin Lux. 11 is Jordan. 12, Michael Busch. 13, Chris Taylor. 14, William Contreras. 15, Gary Sanchez. This one's interesting because he's facing his former battery mate. He caught Jordan Montgomery multiple times. They came up together in the system. So he could be a sneaky one. I don't know if he'll play. 15, Matt Olson. 16, Polanco. 17, Jorge Soler. 18, Rhys Hoskins versus Montgomery. So early simulations, absolutely love a Dodger stack. Going to be very expensive. Absolutely love a Milwaukee stack, which I think is going to be a little bit cheaper. And they also love a Brave stack as well for the top 3 stacks early. So now what we're going to do, after we've done Pitches Be Crazy, we've done simulations, we are going to show you how to line up build here on SaberSim. So certain games, certain teams you want to target in this, you can look at that. So you can look at projected runs. You see the highest. Obviously the Angels, you want 20% there for Houston. You can't play Minnesota at Boston, so we're not going to do that. Got 20% for Atlanta. Seattle at Texas, I don't know. Arizona, Milwaukee, I want 20% in that game. There are some weather concerns in some other games. So I do want some weather here, or some exposure there. Then it just depends. I mean, you got Baltimore, you got St. Louis, Cleveland. Let's go Cleveland as the final one. So we go there. We do settings. Let's say we want 500 lineups. 500 lineups with a player pool there. Max entry of, 20 max. We're playing entrance there, so on and so forth. Correlation of 9. We can bring it down. Then we can build lineups. So I just want to show you how it works, kind of how you do other things as well. Then what we'll do is we'll look at, so this is the main one, 1.25 quarters jukebox, 25-cent entry is what it is. And that's what we love about being able to look at the contest sims, and it shows you what lineups might do best in those simulations. So I'm going to pause this till the lineups are done, and I'll be right back. So after simulations, it did 5,000 lineups. We're seeing 500. You can kind of see it's really like in Skeens and Snell for DraftKings, which make a ton of sense. They're very expensive pitchers. So you got to find a couple of the value plays there. So Otto Lopez, John Singleton, kind of so on and so forth. Then a Brave stack, which makes sense. Those make a lot of sense. Pitching wise, depending on where you're at and which ones you feel comfortable with, you can kind of see the ones that we look at, and you can sort it however you want. So it's obviously really like in a Brave stack, which I absolutely love, and that's kind of what we built out. But if you want to do settings, you want to do contest simulation real quick before we end the video. We do the, the 1.25K jukebox right here. So 59.45, 59.45, save settings, come over here, run contest sim. So once it runs, it's going to show a score down here of the return on investment they believe you will have through simulations, and what lineups rank 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 all the way through. So it's absolutely why we love SaberSim here. So just kind of looking, still likes Snell and Skeens. It makes a lot of sense. You can go through, you can choose which pitcher to use. So the exposure here for pitching wise, you can see that Skeens, Amanaga is there, 156 of the lineups. Seth Lugo is there. So if you want to look at like a Seth Lugo lineup, because it's got a great matchup there, it's got Arrighetti going up against LA, which we can kind of look at Mr. Spaghetti here. Against splits wise, has not faced the Angels. Up and down for him when you look at splits when he's on the road or at home. A little bit better, but still 4 ERA. So again, these are all, tournament picks, because that's kind of what we're looking at. But a couple of the Reds picks here. Skeens, Palante, I probably wouldn't use there. Montgomery scares me a little bit. So you get an initial one, and then you can mess with it. So Lugo and Haney, I don't mind. But he really didn't do anything against Seattle last time. Is loving a Brave stack as well. Arizona as well. So just an initial one. Again, things will change if you want to see everything on the website. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is that website. MLB tab, we have player projections. We have all the simulations, Vegas odds, batter splits, BVP matchups, stolen base targets, prop bets, cheat sheet, chalk plays. Got it all. So if you want to check it out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. And here at the end of this video, I will link the main slate breakdown for NFL, and I will link the Sunday Night Football showdown breakdown and lineup build brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com and our sponsor, Outlier.bet. That's what I've got. Good luck today, and as always, bring home the bacon. Peace.